whites for the Wildcats, who've won 4 straight. And the opening tip goes the Wildcats' way. 0 and white. Doug McDaniel, the point guard.
This team loves to play through Coleman Hawkins. He's become an excellent passer. He'll start in the low post, being guarded by a great defender in Adams.
There's his first touch. Mid-post for Hawkins. And Doug McDaniel's first shot is good. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Kansas Jayhawks, brought to you by CDW, especially the 3 names you know the most: Dickinson, Harris, and Adams. But Zeke Mayo, an outstanding outside shooter.
Has to play great on the road. Hasn't done it yet.
There's the first turnover of the game. Coleman Hawkins forces one up. Dickinson with the rebound. Here's Mayo, 5 in blue.
We mentioned, Rich, both of these teams play through their big fellas.
Rylan Griffin off the mark. And here's Brandon Hassan with the assist. And Max Jones will go to the line.
There's an example of Hassan. He's such a good shooter. You can't leave him in transition, so it opens up the court. And great vision by the junior from Amarillo, Texas.
So now Max Jones, number 2 in white, will go to the line. A senior out of Clearwater, Florida. He started 104 of the last 106 games, and he's got 13 points a game during this current 4-game win streak. The left-hander makes them both. A 76% free throw shooter gives K-State an early 5-zip lead.
First possession, Kansas tried to go inside, but Hawkins fronted Dickinson.
Adams blocked out of bounds by Coleman Hawkins, and all he's done is lead this Wildcats team in rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals.
Well, this front line of Gasson and Hawkins is long, and that's not a surprise. I like the idea of attacking them early, but Kansas in 2 possessions have come up empty on those drives.
Harris triggers the inbounds. Seven on the shot clock for the Jayhawks. Here's Dickinson, left-hand jump shot, and it's good from the elbow.
Nice patience right there by Harris. Dickinson's smart enough to move out of the low post into an open area.
Hunter Dickinson's played these Wildcats 3 times. He averages 20 and 13 against them. McDaniel, the lob to Gasson. KJ Adams.
Good example right there of Hunter Dickinson not getting an assist on that play, but the catalyst, wow.
Deep 3 by Doug, off the mark. 2 DMV guys scoring the last couple of buckets. And Dickinson, speaking of, Hunter Dickinson's got back-to-back buckets.
Good job by Rylan Griffin pushing the pace before K-State could get set up defensively. One of the keys, Rich, in this 4-game win streak has been the development of Doug McDaniel, the Michigan transfer, as a guy that's become, let's say he's just got on the same page as his head coach, Jerome Tang.
Here's Hawkins. 10 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. A little show and go by McDaniel, and he misses off the window. Now Harris in transition.
Beautiful.
And what a fast break by the Jayhawks.
Beautiful. We had a great angle of that. Give Zeke Mayo credit for sprinting down that right wing. And DeJuan Harris with great vision as he approaches 800 assists, Rich. Probably he'll get it in this game.
He already has 3 dimes tonight.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah.
He's 801.
Hawkins Hassan gets fouled by Mayo. That's going to be Zeke's first.
I'll tell you, we were at midcourt. We had a great view of this pass. Take a look right here. Watch him throw it right over the top of the defense. And Mayo, with good athleticism, catching it on the move and finishing in the air. Nicely done.
So a great dime by DeJuan Harris. Jayhawks fans are used to saying that, but now he has 2 fouls, and he's on the bench. Shaquille Moore, 0 and white, takes his spot. There's a pocket pass from Jones to Gasson.
That's the second time early in this game that Gasson has gotten behind Dickinson. He can't let that happen. Good job by Gasson, who's really had a good senior year.
Mayo, mid-range. And the rebound on the weak side to Hassan.
Well, Bill Self's going to have to play DeJuan Harris in the first half with 2 fouls. It's just a matter of when.
Hawkins thought about the 3. Now he fires the one off. And it's off the mark. Mayo rebounds.
See if they double. They do, and that's a little too high.
Good hands by McDaniel. He's a one-man fast break, and he gets it to go.
This starting 5 for Kansas State has played as well as any in the league over the last 5 games.
Jump shot from KJ Adams, something he's added to his arsenal.
Hasn't had the great year from a field goal percentage standpoint, but they could use every bit of offense they can get from him today.
It's an 11-10 Kansas State lead. They've led from the opening tip. Hassan, the 3-point sniper, and he's off on his first attempt beyond the arc. Mayo, pocket pass, Dickinson with the left hand, no good. Cats looking to push the tempo, and they do. Max Jones has his first field goal of the game. Here's Shaquille Moore, 1,000-point scorer in his college career.
That should be
that one was blocked, and they'll count the basket.
Yep.
We have a timeout on the floor already. The offense is flowing.
And it's flowing in a fast way. Watch K-State push. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been a key for this resurgence, if you will, of the Wildcats.
And the last time these teams met, albeit a Kansas win in Lawrence, Coleman Hawkins became the first Wildcat to have a point and assist double-double against Kansas. Here's Jones, checked by Griffin. Now it's a 3-point attempt, in and out. And one thing Jerome Tang told us is he doesn't want his team falling in love with the 3 early.
Big minutes for Shaquille Moore, who only played 2 minutes in the Iowa State game on Monday night. With Harris saddled with 2 fouls, they're going to need some playmaking from him. That's a basket.
Too easy for Hunter Dickinson.
That's classic over-the-top seal, throw the ball to the corner of the backboard. And Bill Self's been doing that since he arrived in 2003.
And C.J. Jones, the junior from East St. Louis, with his first bucket. So far, France, 6 points for KJ Adams, 6 for Hunter Dickinson. And the freshman Flory Badunga set to check in. Zeke Mayo's got his first bucket.
Well, that's important, Rich. We've already chronicled that he does not play well on the road in Big 12 play. Much more comfortable at home. All 5 of his 5+ assist games this year have taken place inside Allen Fieldhouse.
I should say that's his first 3-pointer of the game. Speaking of threes, Max Jones has 7 already.
Well, he's been so rock solid. A young man, as you know, started his career at Division II Tampa, went across the country to Fullerton, and really enjoying a solid 5th year in the Big 12.
Nice feed. Mayo to Adams.
Nicely
KJ
done.
Adams
Yeah.
with 8.
Well, you mentioned it. Kansas's big guys dominating the paint right now.
Kansas a 1-point lead. Now they have an opportunity to add to it. They're 4 of their last 4 from the field. Dickinson decides to take it himself. And here come the Cats. And look at that ball by Coleman Hawkins in the scoring column now.
That play is indicative of what Coleman Hawkins means to this team. A little bit of everything, but certainly on the backboard, he's formidable.
Nice lob, big to big. Dickinson to Adams, first player in double digits.
Let's see if he takes advantage of the mismatch here.
Jones showed 3, drives it on Adams, and gets it to go off the window.
Well, they went to the other mismatch, kicked it back out.
And that lob goes out of bounds. It'll be Kansas State basketball. They have regained the lead in the Sunflower Showdown. Number 16, Kansas
Is having an All-American season. He scores, he passes, he rebounds. And the reason he doesn't block a lot of shots is not a lot of people attack him inside.
Both teams sharing the sugar in the early on. Kansas 9 assists on 10 made field goals. Kansas State 7 dimes on their 9 field goals made. Cats have a 1-point lead. Offense rolling through Coleman Hawkins. And he's got the ball.
Now, who's this foul on? Because if it's on Harris, that'll be 3, and it is. Harris tried to sneak inside and underneath Coleman Hawkins. Watch Harris now. He goes inside, but he gets a piece of Hawkins' leg on the drive, and that's a good call and just not a smart play by your 5th year or 6th year point guard.
So essentially, DeJuan Harris is fouled out in the first half.
He's fouled out of this half for sure. I had no doubt he was coming back with 2. And it was caused by the confusion of the ball screen out top. And Hawkins, as we've talked about, Rich, he's so versatile, playing his best basketball at K-State.
Off the back iron, the rebound to Adams. A 3-point Kansas State lead. In a game like this, that feels like 13. A.J. Storr getting his first burn. So is David Coit. And it's picked off by Hawkins. An easy 2 for the Cats.
Well, Coleman Hawkins, Rich, we've mentioned it. This is why this Kansas State team is on a roll. He's playing like one of the best players in the Big 12. The rebounding, the passing. They're running through a passing lane with the easy finish. And this team, we mentioned it. I know it sounds crazy to say that they're playing like a top 25 team, but the analytics say that in the last 5 games, that's basically what K-State looks like.
KJ Adams will go to the line. It's been a great first half so far for number 24 in blue, KJ Adams, playing in his 130th career game.
Well, the good news for Bill Self is that KJ Adams has really upped his free throw shooting. hanging around 80% this season, much improved over his first 3 years.
He's averaged 15 points a game in the last 2 years in this building, in this rivalry. And he makes the first, 11 points for KJ Adams. Start your Super Bowl Sunday with 3 great women's basketball matchups at noon Eastern at Stanford and Louisville. That's followed by number 2 South Carolina and number 4 Texas. And then at 4 Eastern, number 6 LSU hosting number 19 Tennessee. Then we're ready for Eagles and Chiefs. Who's your pick in the Super Bowl, partner?
I'm going with Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. He'd have a cheeseburger on me, Rich.
Give me the number 1 defense and the number 1 running back. That means Philadelphia Eagles with the upset. And Coit got hit and went down. Looks like he might have taken one of the nether regions.
Well, he's going to have to play key minutes here the last 9 minutes of the first half. He's already got that turnover that led to the run out. Take a look right here. Oh, yeah. Hawkins reached in for the basketball and missed.
Inadvertent. Just a common foul. Mayo. The Lawrence native. Inside to the freshman Badunga. And Hawkins snares the rebound. Largest lead of the game so far, 5 for Kansas State. They're up 4 right now.
Well, they've got a mismatch
to go. Here's Jones. He's had an excellent first half. 5 to shoot. Jones does, and it's the other Jones, CJ,
great
with
ball
the triple.
movement. Yeah, great ball movement, side to side.
CJ Jones 9 1 year against Kansas.
2 great ones. Barry Brown now playing in China. He's got a couple weeks off. He's home. Nice back cut.
Right. That's Shaquille Moore drawing the foul, and he'll go to the line.
Another good look by Hunter Dickinson out of a timeout. Bill Self setting up that backdoor cut, which you like to use against teams that you know will come out and pressure you. And that's how you relieve the pressure right there. Backdoor cut, good find.
Fran, I go back to when Michael Beasley played his 1 and only year of college basketball. After they beat Kansas on this floor, he said, we're going to beat Kansas at home. We're going to beat Kansas in their house. We're going to beat Kansas in Africa. Well, that almost came true.
They didn't beat him here. I think the last guy to beat Kansas in Allen Fieldhouse was Cartier Martin back in 2005, I believe. I did that game, I believe.
Moore misses them both.
Can't have an empty possession like that on the road, especially when you're trailing. Great set play, came away with nothing.
Here's McDaniel. Second 3 of the game for Doug McDaniel. He has 8.
This is the best he's played in a Wildcat uniform, and it took him about 2 months.
What's been the difference?
Confidence in it from his coach. I think he was stubborn, to be honest with you. You know, when you look at Jerome Tang and all those great guards he coached at Baylor, there was definitely a stubbornness both ways, but they've come to that meaning of the minds that I talked about. DC kid, so he's got great toughness.
McDaniel again. This time it's off the mark. And A.J. Storr leads the break for the Jayhawks.
Well, they need something from him.
They didn't get it there. The offensive rebound is swatted away by Hawkins.
Hawkins has dominated this game so far, especially on the defensive end.
Inside, Gassan. 2 pump fakes, the bump, and the bucket.
We talked about that starting 5 of Kansas State, everybody contributing. David Gassan, his 3rd year in the purple and white, and also playing as good a basketball as he's played in his 3 years. Young man from the Netherlands, part of that Netherlands national team, plays a lot of FEB basketball in the summertime.
Coming in 12 for his last 18 from the field in their last 2 wins. He has 6 this afternoon after missing that free throw. A 10-point K-State lead. Looking to win their third straight game at home against their arch rivals, the Kansas Jayhawks. And Florida Bethune traveled with it.
That was a good setup. They trapped a pick and roll at midcourt. They got rid of it quickly, Mayo did, to Dickinson, who made a great find. And Flory just shuffled his feet. Kansas giving away some possessions in this first 13 minutes.
4 turnovers for the Jayhawks, none so far in the first 13 plus for Kansas State. Here's Jones. Takes it himself.
Another one of those transfers, this one from UIC. East St. Louis kid.
Dickinson, the extra pass. Griffin, back to Dickinson for 2.
Great run,
Up
great
ahead.
run.
And they're going to count the basket.
That's all hustle, Rich. That's David Gasson beating everyone down the court. You see right there, Gasson at the end. Ball hits the backboard. A.J. Storr goes and gets it. That will count, but great effort by Gasson to go 94 feet.
David Gasson had 22 points in that big win on the road at Arizona State, their 4th in a row. Mayo, too strong on the floater. And guess who? Gasson, the rebound.
Oh, look at them push it.
Now McDaniel. A.J. Storr for 3. Huge bucket.
Oh, they needed that one. Good look by Zeke Mayo. He took the ball to the baseline. It collapsed the defense, and A.J. was able to get behind him and knock it down. Looked good out of his hand.
A.J. Storr just 16 total points in his last 4 games.
This is how they play through Hawkins. Watch him now. Eyes to the middle.
Here's the handoff. 4 on the timer. Cat's got to go. Hawkins doesn't see it. And we have a shot clock violation. That defense for Kansas bears its teeth. Ken Pom says they're the 5th best defense in all of college sports.
Yeah, they've been terrific so far this season. They switch at 4 spots, and they usually keep the ball in front of them. Today, not so much, as Wildcats have beaten them up the court. And Hawkins, again, the facilitator of that ball movement.
Now some subs coming on for Jerome Tang, the freshman. David Castillo, number 10 in white, and the sophomore, Moby Ike Garuke, checks in.
Well, remember, there's a TV coming at 4, so they'll get some time here. And depending on how they play, I'm not sure this will be a long stint.
And a foul on the floor by the Wildcats. That's going to go on David Castillo.
Highly thought of coming out of high school last year at Sunrise Christian over in Wichita.
Every coach wants to be old and experienced. David Castillo, the only freshman on Jerome Tang's roster. That 3 off the mark. Ige Karuke with the rebound.
Well, he's a great athlete, terrific athlete, JUCO transfer.
Energy off the bench.
Yep.
And the lob.
Well, that's what we talked about, Rich. You cannot let the ball get by you and into the paint. And tonight, Wildcats taking advantage of that.
We've seen as many 18 to go. What's K-State done that's impressed you?
Well, they run it. They've been running. They've been great defensively. They've protected the basket well. And they haven't turned the ball over. And obviously Kansas without DeJuan Harris, who saddled with those 3 fouls. Kansas just has to get it under double figures before they go to that locker room.
Mayo back to Dickinson. The push shot, no good. They get a fresh 20 and they go back to their big man, but it's a turnover.
No, it's a good idea, but too much helium on that pass. Too easy for the defense to circle around and get that ball deflected, and then K.J. Adams with the foul inside on Hawkins at the other end.
That'll be number 1 on KJ Adams. Jerome Tang has to love what he's seen so far from this K-State offense. 59% from the field, 40 from 3, and only 1 turnover so far. Here's McDaniel. He has 8. Hawkins with a mismatch. Trying to take advantage against Coit. 5 on the shot clock. And the ball goes over the backboard, out of bounds. It'll be Kansas basketball.
Tell you, one of the underrated things in basketball, Rich, what you really see going away the way of the dinosaur is feeding the post. Hunter Dickinson is really unguardable inside when he gets the ball, but Wildcats have done a good job of keeping him from getting it.
Here's KJ Adams, 2 feet in the paint, and he leads the Jayhawks now with the Baker's dozen.
When they get the ball to the paint in this first half, Adams and Dickinson have had their way. They've just got to get it there a little bit more often, and that's going to come down to guard play.
Hawkins, the lob, Moby with the finish.
That's the 3rd time in the first half that Hunter Dickinson has been caught watching the flight of the ball and not recognizing where his man is.
Dickinson, left hand, got fouled and will go to the line.
Rich, one of the things about Coleman Hawkins, and we talked about this before the game, he is not a go-to scorer. He never has been. He's a glue guy. He's a defender. He's a passer. He's a rebounder. When you see him do the things he's doing in this 4-game winning streak, this is who he is.
Dickinson, 8 points, 4 rebounds, and he misses the free throw. A full slate of college hoops for you, including these 2 games. Coming up at 4, Janai Broome and number 1 Auburn hosting 6th-ranked Florida over on ESPN2. Jay and Dan will be on the call for that. And then Dickie V on the call as Cooper Flagg and number 2 Duke takes on Clemson. A couple of sonic blockbusters coming up.
Well, that's another invisible turnover right there, missing both. And this is one of the rare times that you'll see Kansas. They did it against Central Florida, UCF. They've gone big with Bidunga, Adams, and Dickinson. I think Bill Self's looking for some inside defense, quite honestly.
Hawkins working on the freshman. 5 on the shot clock, knocked out of bounds, and that's another Wildcats turnover, albeit just their 2nd this afternoon.
Now we've seen this lineup maybe 10 possessions on the season. Going to be really anxious to see where they run their offense through, because this is unusual. This is like playing with 3 tight ends.
KU 16-6 on the year, 7-4 in the Big 12.
And you can see Adams directing traffic because they're not used to playing in this offense.
5 to shoot. And Coit turns it over. And Brandon Hassan, usually a 3-point specialist, shows his wares on defense.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Self gets out of that 3-big attack, because that did not look good. Take a look right here. There's a hard double team, and then Hassan stays with it, the transfer from Villanova. And Bill Self's going to stay with it. They just went to the bench. Shaq Moore back in.
Under 90 seconds to go in the first half. K-State has led through most of it. Looking to pull off the upset in the Sunflower Showdown. Here's Hassan. Now a fresh 20 for the Cats. Left hand, no good from McDaniel. Mayo. 1 minute to go in the first half.
Gotta shoot that. Gotta shoot that.
Seven on the timer now for the Jayhawks. A deep 3 by Mayo. Woo.
Good defense. Can't do anything about that if you're C.J. Jones. Mayo knew the clock was going down. He was still in range.
Averages under 10 a game on the road. Here's the Amarillo Assassin hasn't hit a 3 yet, though. And a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock, and Bill Self wants to milk that clock.
Well, and I'll tell you, they will be ecstatic if they're down 6 at the half. This is still doable to start the second half.
Adams to Badunga.
McDaniel.
Here he is, hero in white. 3 seconds to go in the half. Gasson, step back.
Fouls.
And KU, with Harris leading the way, opens the second half with the ball. First shot, second half, no good. And it's saved by Hawkins, but he put it right in the hands of Harris. Hunter Dickinson tracking for another double-double. This time he gets an assist to Ryland Griffin.
I like the fact that Ryland didn't hesitate on that second one. That's his real estate. That corner 3 is where he makes most of them, and he's got to let it fly when he's open.
Now 16 assists on 17 Kansas field goals made.
Can't let him open like that.
Possible. The Amarillo Assassin, Fran.
Yeah, you cannot leave him that open. I know it looks like it's deep, but not for him. Shoot that.
He does. And Griffin can't go 2 for 2. Bounce pass in traffic, blocked by Dickinson, but Doug Sermons is going to say, that's a foul.
Well, Gasson has been outrunning those bigs all night long. Terrific hustle right here. Take a look. He goes the other side. Contact up top. Easy call.
Balanced scoring attack for the Wildcats in the first half. Gasson led them with 10. He has 11 now.
Rich, when you look at this run by the Wildcats the last 5 games, you look at their starting lineup. Their point guard's playing great. They got a dead-eye shooter. Max Jones has got some toughness. And then the 2 big guys inside have been outstanding.
Sounds like a recipe for success.
Yeah, in this league especially.
12 for Gasson.
Yeah, that starting 5 right now is playing as well as anybody in the league.
Defensively, during this 4-game win streak, they've only allowed 62 points a game.
And see, Mayo's got to shoot that ball.
Griffin. Now Harris, 15 on the shot clock. Adams, big to big. And Hunter Dickinson will go to the line.
Good job inside. Nice high-low pass. Big to big. You talked about it. Listen, Griffin and Mayo, when they're open, when you play good teams in this league, you cannot pass up open threes. And we've chronicled, Rich, that Mayo plays much better at home than he does on the road.
Dickinson missed his first 2 free throws in the first half, makes that one. Hunter Dickinson now with 9 points, 4 rebounds for Bill Self. The preseason #1 team in the nation on the ropes in enemy territory.
Harris guarding Hazen, who is not really a playmaker, but you cannot let him get open.
Is that because of the foul trouble?
Absolutely. Yep. And Mayo's assignment is to keep Doug McDaniel out of the paint.
7 to shoot. McDaniel does, and cans another triple. His 3rd of the game.
Well, he's been outstanding all game. He's been outstanding in that last 5 games.
Dawson jumped the passing lane, almost got a turnover. Adams. Good ball movement by the Jayhawks. They're 10th in the nation in assists. Now 3 to shoot. The lob. And a foul called as Hunter Dickinson missed the shot, but will go back to the free throw line. And that's the 3rd foul, Fran, on Coleman Hawkins.
He did not agree, but the officials had a pretty good look at it. The tough part for Coleman Hawkins was the shot clock was right about to go 1-0.
Fran, earlier you talked about Hunter Dickinson's prowess. He's one of 2 players to ever win All-American honors at 2 different schools.
And the last one was a couple years ago, I think 1915, Rich.
Elmer Oliphant, Purdue and Army. And Hunter Dickinson at Michigan and at Kansas. An 11-point K-State lead, now cut to 9. Their largest lead of the afternoon has been a dozen. A deep 3 by Hawkins. Doing a little of everything as we're used to seeing.
Real danger zone for Kansas right now.
Pocket pass. Dickinson working on Gasson. Can't get it to go. Gasson clears.
Watch McDaniel push it.
Between the legs. Doug McDaniel. Spin cycle.
K-State's chasing him off that three-point line.
Griffin blocked by Hawkins. That's his 3rd block of the afternoon. Off the hands of Hunter Dickinson, and everything going the way of the Wildcats.
I'll tell you one guy that's loving it in here. It's Michael Beasley.
Coleman Hawkins just tapping up Beasley and Barry Brown.
I'll tell you, Doug McDaniel has really come into his own, Rich, in the last 3 weeks. Oh, boy.
And that 3 off the mark.
Yeah, that was heat check. As much as he's done today, give him a little free rein right there.
Harris, his first bucket of the afternoon. Played just 4 minutes in the first half, Frank. But Doug McDaniel has been the story to start this second half. 13 points and 8 assists so far for the Wildcat point guard. Nice feed. The extra pass to Gasson.
Mayo gets caught on a back screen, so Dickinson has to help. And in helping, they just leave Gasson open. Gasson stealing.
16 assists now for Kansas State. Adams out to Griffin.
Rich, those are shots you have to make. If you want to play at Kansas, you just have to make those shots consistently.
Hassan.
Look at this.
That is in his range. Not that time.
But not his area code.
Mayo, the three-point sniper, gets the floater in the lane.
A lot of time left. Nicely done by Zeke on the floater.
The lead is 12 for K-State with the ball. Looking for their 4th win over a top 25 team this year.
Nice basketball.
Max Jones gives it back. Gasson gets the rebound and the foul.
Great possession. That was a really, really good possession right there. The ball was singing. 16
now for David Gasson. And Griffin can't find the bottom of the bucket again. And Gasson is exhausted and slow to get up on the other end of the floor. Wildcats playing 4-on-5 right now.
TV timeout coming. I think Doug McDaniel's going to catch his breath a little too.
Hassan, good hands. He gets back behind the three-point line and short on that attempt. Saved by Hawkins, but here come the Jayhawks. Adams off the hands of Dickinson, out of bounds. Another Kansas turnover and a timeout on the floor.
Doug McDaniel may be exhausted right now. And Doug McDaniel played for the great coach Glenn Ferrello, who just won his 600th game. Paul VI dominating that conference, although they did get knocked off for the first time in 4 years by Gonzaga Prep.
Look at this, a home run pass.
Stepped on the line.
Well, that's the gamble you take when you're throwing it that far. Coleman Hawkins tried to go all Grant Hill on the Jayhawks.
Plenty of time left, but Kansas has to be extra judicious on every possession.
Down 14, their largest deficit of the afternoon, but that's cut to 12. A.J. Storr with his second bucket of the game.
And a great look by Dickinson. As soon as he felt a double team, he knew exactly where to throw it on the weak side.
Here's Hawkins, stuffing the stat sheet as usual. Seven minutes gone by in the second half. Wildcats shooting 60% from the field, 50% from three. They miss it there, and here comes Kansas.
They do have numbers.
Good defense by Hassan. And a foul is called, and it'll be Kansas State basketball.
You know, Hassan's a kid, Rich, that went from Amarillo to Villanova. He thought he was going to play for Jay Wright. Jay retired, played 2 years there, pedestrian at best, good off the bench. But his toughness, his hustle, and obviously the shooting has been a welcome addition to this Wildcat team.
And obviously we haven't seen that shooting on display today. 1 for 6 for Hassan, but coming into this game, 17 for his last 34.
Well, and the toughness defensively, because, you know, you don't look at him as being a guy that's a lockdown defender. But great effort, young man from Amarillo. He's as tough as an armadillo from Amarillo.
Shout out to our friend Pete Souza. So here comes Doug McDaniel. What a renaissance it's been for him since Big 12 play started. Does he have another assist? Yes, he does, to Coleman Hawkins.
They caught Padunga inside the paint, and Hawkins said, "You want to give it to me? I'm home, dude. I can make these."
The rebound and the putback by Dickinson.
Well, Kansas needs stops now. They're getting in a rhythm offensively, playing through Hunter Dickinson, but they need stops. You mentioned it, Rich. This is the fifth best defense in the country this season in terms of efficiency, but not today.
McDaniel short. And his fellow DMV kid, Hunter Dickinson, grabs the rebound. Good hands by Gasson, and a foul's called. And Brooks Wells tells Bill Self, the Hall of Famer, settle down. Timeout on the floor, franchise. 3 at home against top 25 teams is head coach Jerome Tang. And a lot of favorite Wildcats are in attendance tonight. We showed you Mike Beasley, Barry Brown. There's the aforementioned Tyler Perry.
Nice lob. Inbounds. They talked about that early this morning. We were here at the walkthrough, and Jerome Tang said, when that ball is on the baseline out of bounds, you must look lob. And this is one of the rare times you'll see Kansas go to a zone. They're in a 2-3 zone right now.
Why are they doing that?
Well, they want to change the momentum, Rich, because the fastball has been like 85 straight down the middle. So Bill Self's going to go to a little curveball action.
Good hands by Shaquille Moore. Almost forces the turnover. 3 on the shot clock. Jones! Kansas with time running out.
That's the story of Kansas's day. Great defense. They almost get a steal, and Kansas State turns it into a basket. A 3.
5 different Wildcats have hit from beyond the arc. There's Hunter Dickinson. He has 16.
Hunter has been very consistent today. Now, defensively, some lapses, but they're going to stay in that 2-3 zone. I can't remember this season that Kansas has been in this defense maybe more than a couple of possessions.
Moby for 2 from short range. How about 6 points for Moby Ike Garuke? Lob. They can't get it to Padunga. Here comes Jones. And now K-State will reset. A 14-point lead. Their largest has been 15. McDaniel thought about the three, and he can't get the mid-range to go. A.J. Storr up ahead to Dickinson. Walled up by the K-State defense. Here's McDaniel. Good hands by one of the best defensive guards in the nation.
And remember, DeJuan Harris playing with 3 fouls. He played with 3 in the first half. Good effort right here. Just gets a little bit of the ball. Remember, hands part of the ball, so that's not a foul anyway. But good effort by DeJuan. Rich, this is not a surprise. We knew coming in that, we said this, and it's really a true statement in my opinion. They're playing Kansas State like a top 25 team.
Jones off the mark. Ige Karukin got shoved out of bounds, but no call. 9.5 to go. Kansas State has led for all but 2 minutes of this game. Hawkins 3 to shoot. And Shaquille Moore comes away with it. Step through, Euro step for A.J. Storr.
Nicely done by A.J. Way to get out in transition if you're Kansas. And you only have 3 defenders back. A 3-on-3 is really open court.
We've seen some beautiful offense. Both teams shooting over 50% today. Hassan. That one was from the chef downtown, Fran.
That was from Fort Riley. That young man's got that kind of range.
The Amarillo assassin chipping in with his second triple of the day. And Storr, an offensive spark off the bench.
Yeah, all this offense for Kansas is great, Rich, but they're not getting any stops right now. And they're not able to shrink this Wildcat lead.
And the last couple of times down the floor trading 2s for 3s. Speaking of, that one's off the mark for Hassan, who has the neon green light from Jerome
he
Tang.
does. Yeah, Jerome called him this summer the best shooter he's ever coached. He had a guy at Baylor by the name of Brady Heslip,
yes,
who he compares him to. But watch this loss in 3 from Steph Curry range right there.
This is one of the best home crowds in all of college basketball. I'm a little surprised we don't have any stuffed armadillos in the crowd.
Well, keep in mind, it's always a great crowd when one team shows up.
That's true.
It's the team 80 miles east. It's still a great place, but it's not quite the same unless Kansas is in the building.
Everybody's Super Bowl against the Jayhawks. Storr off the mark from 3. A bucket here matches or sets their game-high lead over Kansas, but Hassan may be forcing that one. Storr had it knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Kansas State basketball. Timeout on the floor, and the Hall of Famer, Bill Self, scratching his head at this one for 2 decades. What's your thoughts?
2 thoughts. Number 1, it's a cardinal sin in the NBA. You'd never trade a young superstar, okay? Did the team get better in the short term? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But you don't trade a talent like that at his age. The other thing, Rich, Dallas is not a basketball town. It's a Cowboys town. And when you're good, they come out and watch. For 20 years, they came out and watched Dirk. Luka was Dirk's little brother. This will have a major effect on the fan base in Dallas, there's no question. But I'll get back to it. You do not trade a young superstar in the NBA. They're too hard to find.
Hassan, left hand off the window.
He's been so good lately. I keep mentioning it. This team over the last 5 games playing as well as anybody in the Big 12. There's no question. You go to Ames and beat that team by 19, you're doing something right.
And now they're under 7 minutes away from beating the number 16 Jayhawks. Here's Storr. And David Gasson has his 7th rebound to go along with 18.
Rich, you just have to rip the Band-Aid off the wound. These transfers that Kansas has brought in have been so inconsistent. So much was expected of Storr, Mayo, who's been good. You know, the other guys, 5 transfers on the perimeter. You just don't know what you're going to get game to game.
Hawkins lost the handle. Here comes Kansas. Haven't heard from KJ Adams, who had 13 in the first half. That one's blocked. Another one. 4 blocks today from 33 and White. But did they whistle the foul? No foul. It's out of bounds.
No, it's just another really good play by Hawkins. Take a look. This is who he is, Rich. He's a great role player. And that's not a criticism of his. When I saw him at Illinois, I thought he had a chance to play in the NBA as a role player. And the rebounding, the defense, he just stepped on the line.
Nothing going the way of the Jayhawks this afternoon in Manhattan.
The biggest issue, as you see, great shot there, guys. The biggest issue with Coleman Hawkins early in the year is he's not a go-to scorer. He's a great or super glue guy.
McDaniel, smallest player on the floor, also the quickest.
Well, they've got the tempo right where they want it right now.
Total team effort thus far from Kansas State. Jones can't hit the 3. Transition out of bounds.
And Hawkins that time didn't get the block, but he definitely spooked Storr. Storr had to go from the left side to the right side because Hawkins was lurking.
And now Max Jones comes in. C.J. Jones checks out for Jerome Tang. 5:25 to go. Still plenty of time for the Jayhawks to mount a comeback. Adams scoreless in the second half after 13 in the first. And an unforced error from the Kansas Jayhawks. That's turnover number 13.
And if you're going to start to go backdoor, you must continue your cut.
What does a win like this mean for the tournament resume hopes of Jerome Tang?
If you would have told me 3 weeks ago that they had any chance at all, I would have told you you're crazy. But they've got 8 games left. If they hold on here, they're already going to be at 500 if they win. And Rich, they can win 5 of their next 8 going into the Big 12 tournament and put themselves at least in the conversation. A much, much better team than the team we saw the first 2.5 months of the season.
Oh, it's Jekyll and Hyde. 1 for 6 to start the Big 12 campaign, and they are now on the verge of their 5th straight win. Gasson can't get it to go. Dickinson clears.
Kansas has to play fast now. You talk about a comeback game. If you're open, you have to shoot it.
Dickinson does and hits a 3.
That's the first 3 I believe he's hit in Big 12 play. But if you're open, if you're Storr, if you're Mayo, if you're Dickinson, if it's an open 3, you must shoot it.
19 and 9 now for Hunter Dickinson. Now Max Jones looking to drive him. Hawkins, bounce pass to Gasson. Look at that touch, in and out. 2 Wildcats go down, but Kansas comes away with it.
Gotta shoot it.
Harris from the corner, off the mark. Lost the ball, Mayo has it for KU. Dickinson, can he go 2 for 2 from 3? That one's too strong. And again, Brendan Hassan, who has been relatively quiet from 3, has done other things for Kansas State that has helped his cause. Oh, we have some fighting tonight from Australia. 2 title fights The middleweight and women's strawweight belts are on the line. The main card begins at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view. Prelims at 8 Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus in English and Spanish. To order the main card, go to espnplus.com/PPV. And right now, Kansas State on the verge of a TKO.
Unless they turn it over like that. Good job by Kansas coming out of a timeout. Three-quarter court pressure. They got a couple traps and forced a turnover, and there's still time left, Rich. This is a 5 or 6 possession game, but you got to be really accurate right now and know what you're doing offensively.
Dickinson found an opening, and he has 21.
Very doable. They need a couple more stops, and you see they keep that pressure on. Wow, look at that speed. Wow.
The blow by Doug McDaniel, who has 15 now.
No safety valve right there. Nobody playing safety and covering the rim.
We've seen that a few times today. Smallest player on the floor, McDaniel, went up to grab the rebound and got fouled.
Watch this now. The press worked the first possession. After this initial trap, watch the speed of Doug McDaniel. He goes coast to coast and just nobody to protect the rim right there.
And Jerome Tang, in his 3 years here in Manhattan, has made a habit of recruiting in the transfer portal speedy, small, scoring point guards. That's what Doug McDaniel is.
Well, he's playing a lot better than he did early, Rich, because he was abysmal early. There was no chemistry between him and his coach, and they have figured it out. Two stubborn guys. I love coaching stubborn guys because he's not afraid of playing against a team not like Kansas. He's relishing it.
It was Marquise Noel a couple of years ago, Tyler Perry last year. This year, the engine of this offense is Doug McDaniel. Hassan puts him to sleep with the three, and Doug McDaniel Steph Curry'd him and walked away knowing he was going to hit that one.
There's that pressure again. They need a timeout, but they get it over.
Hassan wisely gives it to McDaniel.
Yes, the clock is Kansas State's friend right now. They have enough points. Use clock, run it down. Give it to the little guy.
Here he is for three. Off the mark, Badunga clears. 13-point lead, under 2 to go. Storr can't find the bottom.
You just don't ever feel like it's going to go in when he shoots it. It's just the reality.
Coleman Hawkins, the lob.
Wow, missed the push. He missed it. No, Doug doesn't miss many, but take a look now. Watch the lob right here.
Hassan as good as anybody in the country.
Yeah, well, and part of the reason they're getting open threes is the playmaking of their big man, Coleman Hawkins, who's gone over 100 assists this year. Think about it. He's 6'10", but he's the catalyst for the offense.
Dickinson can hit from three. And the rebound in traffic to Max Jones. A fairly clean game played between two bitter rivals. Only 9 team fouls total in the second half so far. Hawkins will inbounds for the Cats. And here comes Max Jones, full head of steam. Can't get it to go. Now Mayo right back at you. Stolen away by Hawkins, but he get him with the foul. That's number 4 on Coleman Hawkins, who has put together another outstanding afternoon. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 7 dimes.
Well, he's playing his role. He's not an offensive player in the sense that you expect him to get 20 every night. He's just much more of a team guy, a glue guy, a playmaker.
Mayo, money from the strike.
Michael Beasley and Barry Brown standing up at half court. Can you tell them to sit down? I don't think you do.
Well, associate head coach Jaheim Holloway was out there telling everybody not to storm the court. They don't want Bramlage Coliseum to get a fine issued to their team.
In a rivalry like this, you just want to get both teams off safely. Kansas and K-State will play Tuesday night. Kansas will host Colorado. Arizona, how about that? Arizona comes into this place Tuesday night.
Well, with one...
Juwan Howard, they made a coaching change. He left. He ended up here.
A reminder for all the NBA fans watching right now, coming up next, Lakers and the Pacers. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern.
Watch out. Somebody's got to shoot it.
That one blocked. Padunga with the putback.
Oh, boy.
McDaniel just threw it across half court, and Max Jones tracked it down.
I think you got to foul if you're Kansas. You can't let time run off the clock.
Here's another one. And that is the exclamation point for Kansas State. There's a 3 from Kansas and a timeout called by Bill Self. And I don't like to speak for you often. You could do that yourself. But I know both of us so fond and revere so much the great Hubie Brown, making his final call as an ESPN analyst. No one knows more basketball than Hubie Brown.
Well, he's impacted a lot of young coaches through the years, trust me, Rich. All right, we need threes here.
Scramble at half court. Hawkins grabs it. It's going to be a jump ball. And possession arrow will go to Kansas State. This is going to be K-State's 5th straight win after starting the Big 12 slate at 1-6. It's the first time in 6 years they've won 5 straight Big 12 games. That one tipped out of bounds. It'll stay K-State basketball. 14.4 to go in the game. It's also going to be the first time in 42 years they have won 3 straight against Kansas at home, and it'll be their 4th straight, or 4th overall, win over a top 25 team. Big win in the Little Apple for Jerome Tang and the Kansas State Wildcats.